Hello, our names are Sid, Kritin, Finley, and Bavik, and the purpose of this presentation is to inform you about the urgent issue of infrastructure in the United States, which is slowly becoming a more noticeable issue. Many people have different opinions, but Joe Biden has stated that these next 10 years are America's infrastructure decade.
The issue of infrastructure has been a highly debated topic because infrastructure has never been formally mentioned in the Constitution. Only recently there has been a development on the basis of the law, and it was passed in the 117th Congress as an improvement to the current infrastructure basis.
Currently, the World Economic Forum ranks the U.S. 13th in terms of overall infrastructure quality. Adding on, the American Society of Civil Engineers recently gave the U.S. a C- in their 2021 infrastructure report card, bringing on concerns like roads, bridges, and other infrastructure.
Recently, steps towards infrastructure improvements have been made. The most significant example in recent years is the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. This law represents the largest and most meaningful investment in rebuilding roads, bridges, public transit, clean water, internet accessibility, and more. After 1 year, the law used $185 billion to fund around 6,900 projects in over 4,000 communities across the country.
The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, passed by Joe Biden on November 18, 2021, was a huge step forward for repairing America's crumbling infrastructure. The act focuses on managing the investment of money to benefit the public. In Section 1 of the act, Joe Biden describes that this bill will help repair the U.S.'s derelict roads, bridges, and rails.
In 2021, the Judiciary branch of the US government requested $1.54 billion to the Congress. The letter for approval was signed by Judge Roslin, Secretary of the Judicial Conference of the US, and Judge John Lungstrom, Chair of the conference's Budget Committee.
Currently, because people are satisfied with the new infrastructure because of the bill that was passed in Congress in 2021. From a rating standpoint, the nation's infrastructure is in an average of a C-, which is up from a D+ in 2017, indicating that the nation doesn't have a major deteriorating infrastructure concern anymore.
Japan is one strong example of a country that has succeeded in an infrastructure problem. One of their main sources in infrastructure has been in transportation, working especially hard on things like high-speed rails, efficient airports, and larger, more extensive highway systems. These improvements have led to improved efficiency and productivity, and they've helped with the movement of goods and people.
On the contrary, a country that has failed with their infrastructure problem is Venezuela. Venezuela has faced numerous power outages, issues with water supply, transportation problems, and poor telecommunications. All these problems are a result of years of mismanagement and underinvestment, which has put Venezuelan roads, bridges, and almost all their other infrastructural systems in a state of despair.
A liberal group who has taken on the issue of infrastructure is the International Association of Sheet Metal, Air, Rail, and Transportation Workers, who advocate for rail safety, the 8-hour workday, job safety, and other such humanitarian issues.
The AFP, the Americans for Prosperity, has begun a new campaign aimed to stop President Biden's infrastructure bill, stating that is Washington's waste at its worst. They believe that the majority of the bill will go towards fewer jobs, tax increases that hurt workers' wages and crush small businesses, and a rugged economy that will leave everyone worse off.
There has been much evidence to prove that conservative control states have cut infrastructure spending and how they can approach infrastructure in a responsible and cost-effective way. The conservative approach to infrastructure, including limiting government's intervention and private sector solutions. This means that conservatives like to focus on maintaining current infrastructure instead of investing in new projects.
On the other hand, liberals tend to support investing in infrastructure as it can create jobs, increase economic growth. Specifically, Democratic politicians have proposed various infrastructure plans and emphasized the need for federal investment in infrastructure. However, some Democrats tend to criticize the current infrastructure proposal for not including aspects like climate change and social inequality.
One of the most recent solutions for the current infrastructure issue is in the US is the American Jobs Plan, originally proposed by President Joe Biden in 2021. This plan suggests investments in transportation infrastructure, water systems, and broadband internet, among other sectors. Biden's plan also includes building and preserving over 2 million homes and buildings, modernizing schools, creating jobs and increasing wages, and solidifying our economy by spending around $2 trillion soon, this decade.
The future of infrastructure is bright for the U.S. The future will likely be shaped by new technologies, the sustainable needs, and economic factors. There's a huge need for digital infrastructure as well as sustainable infrastructure that can address climate change and support low-carbon energy systems. The planning and investment for infrastructure will increase urbanization, will change demographics, and will also change the needs of people in the future.
Thank you for your attention. We all hope that you learned something new from our information in this presentation. Are there any questions for us? For more information, please check out our sources. Thank you.